side with North America's newest Great Dane in the mid lane.
Hey guys, what's going on? Great cast on the day. I am joined by Froggen of Echo Fox after their first win. And I got to ask you, how's it feel to be on stage with the new team after the victory?
It feels good. I mean, I don't know, it's like playing in the LCS but with 4 new people. So there was a bit of jitters, but I think we managed to get through it.
Well, were those jitters mostly yours? This isn't the first time. You have a new team now on stage trying to make something happen. How's that all going for you?
I think it was everyone, honestly. It's like, I mean, we all knew we don't know how it is to play on stage with each other yet. So I think it's everyone.
All right, I got to ask you, the team's pretty new, as you just said. What's the dynamic? Who's got a lot of voice on the team? Does it change towards late game? How's it all work?
We generally try to have our support big shot call. I can help with some of my experience and all that kind of stuff, but we want him to mainly do it. I think he did a pretty good job this game.
Perfect. Yeah, it looked like it turned out great. Now, throughout the split, there's obviously going to be ups and downs for teams, but who are you looking at right now? There's some pretty great, pretty long games today, short games. What's your thoughts?
I think the games are generally going to be shorter. I'm not sure how long our was, probably around the 30-minute mark, but I think the average game time will probably be around like 25 minutes.
25 minutes. Who are you looking to get some game times like that on? What kind of teams are you looking at to beat?
I mean, just going off of scrims. I mean, the first week, you would generally play a bit more safe. Everyone is more nervous and all that kind of stuff. So that could be why there's a bit higher game times. But generally from scrims, it has been really short games. Like either win or lose, it doesn't really matter. It's still around the same game time.
It's a lot of what we saw coming up here. And before I let you go, I got to say, I absolutely love this outfit, but you took it one last step. I got to show these shoes off. Apparently, Echo Fox rocking an entire outfit coming into the LCS. So you guys definitely better put down some numbers here. I got to ask you, Froggen, coming into the LCS here in North America, how do you think Echo Fox is going to do? Final question.
I think right now we would probably be around the middle of the pack.
All right, fair enough. Easy enough said and done. Frog, congratulations on the win, and best of luck tomorrow, man. We're going to throw it down to the analyst desk to break down the rest of the day.
You ask the question, Riv, you get the answer. Middle of the pack, that's where they think they'll
all
be.
Business.
You know, I'm ready for those 25-minute games, though. I don't know about you. I want to. I need to get in some of those scrims because we probably averaged over 40 today with a couple of our games.
Oh, my average scrim time is 2 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just GG after the first
GG
play.
easy. Yeah, when you give it up, right? Exactly. No, okay, let's break down this game a little bit. You know, we have to take it, I think, with a grain of salt, given the sub situation for TIP. You've got two of the main players aren't even in the roster, and you're moving Gate out of his primary role from support to mid lane. Not to say he hasn't played mid before. He does have experience there. But as we break this down, I think the key thing to note here is in this champion select, I felt almost like Team Impulse was trying too much to flex pick everything.
Yeah, this is when you're trying to flex and you go to the gym and you just burn yourself out. You're lifting too much at once. There are 3 flex picks here, and then it was just like, well, how do I hold all these flex picks? I don't know what to do.
Right.
And it just ended up with Kindred going to AD carry, not very effective late game. Kindred's seen a couple nerfs to her, or their heal, which was the big part of the lane for the AD carry portion. And so he ended up with like something like 7,000 damage at the end of the game. Not a whole lot at all.
Right.
And pretty easy to catch. So I did also think that the, aside from the flex picks, it was also, like Jat touched on it a bunch, the fact that there was no cleanse on Gate. Gate was just getting picked on all game because of that.
Well, talk about getting picked on. The person who was doing that was Froggen. And when we do look at Echo Fox, we've got to look at him as that leader. We heard in the soundbite earlier today, he felt he could learn a lot from Rick Fox in being that veteran player and being the captain. And it really showed here in this game that he was the initiator. He took it upon himself to kind of get his team through this first game of the LCS season.
And Froggen, he's constantly initiating in these games or juking people out, and you can see right here, Big is a big part of these plays as well, and Froggen just said that he's usually the shot caller, but Froggen's the initiator. So he's getting the go-ahead, and it's just get Gate every single time.
Yeah.
These replays, what is it? He's getting picked on.
He definitely is, but it does illustrate the point that, to a degree, the team is following him. And I think that when he talks about having those jitters and with such a new team, knowing that you're following a guy who's been on this stage for so long probably helps to alleviate some of those jitters.
It's a very strange thing, too, because if we're going by like the evidence that we have, and what Froggen said about Big calling the shots, they're actually each doing half of a job, and if they're trusting in each other, it's much easier on you. If Big is going, I'm going to call the shot, go in. He doesn't have to worry about the execution of it because Froggen's going to worry about the execution of it, as opposed to Froggen worrying about the call as well. Am I going to make this call?
Right.
So I like that because if you have those jitters, you're able to kind of be like, I trust you, you trust me. Sometimes if we mess up, it's a team effort, right? So I think it's really cool that they're doing that.
Quick look at the rest of the team. KFO in the top lane played relatively well. There was that kind of minor misplay early in the game where he traveled too far into the jungle. Jack called it a solo queue play. But for the most part, again, when they grouped up, both him and Keith performing their duties. Keith, 7-0-5 scoreline. That guy continues to impress when it comes to KDAs in the North American LCS.
He's setting these stats that like nobody can meet.
They're unreasonable bars.
And he'll leave for the season. Last season, it's like nobody can match that.
Even every other AD carry who won today, I think like Wild Turtle, 11-1-4, all these other AD carries that had ridiculous scorelines, they still had one death. Keith has to come in and show up with 0 deaths. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
But Keith is such a great AD carry when he has a good team around him, because what he's able to do is be that cleanup AD carry because he's got good team fight positioning.
Right.
If you're not focusing Keith is pretty much free to do whatever, but I think that he does it a lot better than most AD carries will. So when he has people like Froggen who are going to dive and take the threat away from him, that's where he really excels.
Yep.
And also he had a Lulu behind him in KFO. Jury's actually still out on KFO and how good he is or where he stands after this game. Not a lot of questions answered here for both Echo Fox and TIP.
Right. We need some more time to figure both of these teams out. Well, let's take a look and check how the teams are arranged after our first day back on the Rift. The teams are split right down the middle with CLG, Immortals, Energy, Renegades, and Echo Fox, each holding 1 win. And in the bottom half of the standings is Cloud9, Team Dignitas, TSM, Impulse, and Team Liquid. Now, that's going to do it for us today, but we'll be right back here tomorrow with our special guest analyst Dyrus and 5 more games. Up first, it's Renegades versus Energy. After that, Team Dignitas will challenge CLG, followed by Team Liquid going up against TSM. That will hit your browsers tomorrow at noon Pacific, 9 p.m. Central European time. And you've been warned, and no, absences will not be excused. So be sure to stick around for the start of the University League of Legends Campus Series following the conclusion of our broadcast today. That's coming up in just 10 minutes with Robert Morris University taking on Michigan State. Now, for myself and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for another explosive day of LCS action. Day 1 in the books.